They've really just trying to have been cemented as one of their opening go-to maps, and that's the problem with this lineup right now, right? Is that it's so fresh that they haven't been able to develop a map pool. So if they can now throw a map like Nuke into there, I think that is just a really good sign of things to come from Na'Vi.
It's definitely much needed because they don't play Cache, but let's get stuck on into Nuke. As we see the 5 sets of armor on the EnVyUs side, and then over on the Na'Vi train, we have a HE, which is going to go out early, which means the squeaky door has been blown open. A top hit comes in. RPK finding 2 quick frags. Edward's going to steady the ship.
It's now just going to be down to Flamey, 1 versus 3. CT's coming in with all of the kills so far, other than those 2 on Happy at RPK. So can Flamey clutch this? Oh, not when you're caught mid-reload. 3 bullets left over. We'll reload a second time, but now they're already getting this close, right? EnVyUs forcing this gunfight, charging him down, and taking themselves with a pistol onto Nuke.
Blink and you miss it. I like that approach there from Na'Vi, trying to make it fast off the back, get the action stuck in, but when you're chasing down in that 1-on-3 scenario, like you just saw EnVyUs do, most people are questioning why. You know, why not just let him come to you? In this scenario, you don't let him get away. You don't let him force 1v1 duels. You're all together as a tight-knit unit and you take him down. But this is like I don't love to see. 4 MP9s coming out on the side of EnVyUs. They do love the Mac Daddy strat, and this is obviously their CT version. Against the force buy of Na'Vi. You do know how deadly these players can be with Deagles. Six is going to have his hands full.
Ooh. Pretty much alone out here as well. We're already starting to watch players come out from Mini and then Happy wrap around from Secret. But what are you going to do with an MP9 at this range?
Exactly my point. You can't take that duel, right? The Deagle sitting on top of Silo, Yard, he has the advantage time and time again. They have head armor, which makes it even more scary.
Bit of a predicament. Had Na'Vi not gone outside, then maybe the scout of Sixers left to its own devices, and there's no worry, no issue. But now, all of a sudden, it's a little more in question. But RPK is going to find a kill, an opening one. The conversion point. Edward going to find spacing outside. Spots the man on the back of the rooftops. XMS and Happy combining for 2 more kills. And there we have it. The MP9s do win those gunfights just by simply catching them off guard. Sixer cleans up the last, and EnVyUs move forward here with 4 players alive at the end of it. Not half bad, considering that things look scary from the get-go.
Yeah, it's good that they were able to get on top of that one there in the end. This is the thing. Now we will see the eco come out from Na'Vi. I say that. They drop Simple and AK. Go check out Simple's stats. The guy is an absolute monster. He's reaching godly form this event and showing why he's probably in the top 3 players in the world right now. Let's see what he can get done with that. See where he can find the action.
They're trying to get close. Ooh, it's already started. Simple finds Scream. Now Edward looks to expedite the process. Wanted the gun. And instead he's gone. Happy responds and does get then on top of the hut. So now what does Simple do? He tried to create an opening. Flamey's gonna find one of his own. CZ up close. That's perfectly fine. Simple's still looking to pop heads over towards ramp. It's XMS with the CZ on the other side. He's finding a player with just a pistol. And yet now he charges forward. That's Sixer. If Sixer misses this shot, then Simple could easily spray him down. Simple hears this movement. Starting to give chase as the rest of Na'Vi will trickle behind him. So goes upwards and...
Thank you very much, I guess.
Yeah, that's a
Merry
payday.
Christmas. What? That could have been a competitive round. Now the bomb's stuck up ladder. Six is deciding whether he wants to play it or not. Big question here because the T's know that you might just be sitting directly on top of it. He's going to opt to give it up. They do have a good idea of where they have to come to.
XMS is just in no man's land with that CZ in hand. Ooh, another. Right through the brain of Flamey. Now it's on Simple. He gets himself the second frag of the round. Happy gets himself closer to the bomb site, and he's going to have to now clutch 1 versus 2. A player above, a player beside. And they combine to find the round for Na'Vi. All starts off with the AK. Nearly looks like they threw it with the bomb being stuck there, but hell, they reel it back in.
Zeus, maybe he did that on purpose. Maybe he gave them that opportunity. Simple is just a god, though. This guy, they're setting him up to be the star, giving him the AK in this scenario, and he gets it done. That's a big 3 kills for him in that round.
That's not the first time he's done that this weekend either.
Oh, you bang on there, and I think if you have a player who's on form like Simple is, give him as many opportunities to make these plays as possible. And we do have the buy coming out from EnVyUs, and the wall smokes from Na'Vi. saw them during the EPL regular season when they had seized on the roster, still missing those smokes. But lobby control is going to be taken by that of EnVyUs, and that means that they will have the information. Then the majority of the players from Na'Vi are either on the roof, down secret, or in the yard.
Very aware that this lobby could be occupied. Sure enough, XMS, he finds Simple with just the CZ. Zeus retrieves the bomb, decides to actually give chase. This could just offer the bomb even deeper.
Does he want to do it twice in a row? Here, guys.
He's thinking about it.
Have the package.
Edward's gotten his way down ladder as well, so they have regained a little bit of lobby presence. They've also actually put players down through vents. So this could now actually lead into an A-site split if they don't feel like B is comfortable enough. Bomb could be tasked with either the ramp push or the A explosion. Those are the two options.
Be on XMS here.
He walks away. And Sixer comes in with that op. Molotov will definitely block him off, and if they don't walk past this angle, then he's not going to find any kind of an opening unless Edward switches guns. Flamey's there to trade. Flamey continues on with another kill, but that's now the 1v3 by Electronic. Tasked and unfolding already as he's found one kill, spots the second, but it is Happy through vents to find it, and that's EnVyUs straight back.
Bit of cat and mouse in lobby there, but I think that's a good play by the side of EnVyUs. They really just took lobby control when they saw all the utility being used on yard. They're able to get a lot of information, find that opening kill. It got messy towards the end there. Na'Vi, they don't want to give this up. They want to have this back and forth of the money situation, and why not? This time they haven't actually opted to give Simple an AK-47. He's on that UMP, but I'm sure he can make it happen with anything.
Well, smoke comes out, and while the Molotov goes past, that's not going to get them any kind of vision. They're guessing as to how many players have actually crossed when in fact it's 3. Fourth man lingers out yard, and here comes Electronic. There goes the bomb, already through decon, closer to the site where they find another player just standing in the open. He's going to be pinned in as the man wraps around from control, so XMS needs to bail himself out. They touch face to face as Flamey creates a little bit more space into the 5 versus 3. Simple with another one, and this is just falling apart at the seams. Only Sixer left over. And while he dispatches of Electronic, it's the push through smoke that could catch him. No. He stops that one too. 12 HP is just not enough as Zeus wraps round, and Na'Vi with a round back of their own here, Sponge. It's the Force Wars.
Yeah, Happy, he got caught off guard by, I think, the pace of Na'Vi there. They got that wall smoke out. The Molotov came in, you were bang on, it was way too deep, didn't slow that push down at all, and they just charged down. Happy in limbo, trying to get into a better position to stop the bleeding. Instead, opens that wound, and the lower bomb site was open. And then there was another player in the, I think it was XMS, who had rotated down from ramp. He was also caught in out of position. So see how Na'Vi can deal with this anti-eco situation. That's what they're just posting up, using their nades early, stop any aggression. We have a pistol buy coming out from the likes of EnVyUs. They have been deadly with it thus far. CZs on a map like this, they're always scary, right? Because we have so many close quarter combat duels at your disposal if you play the situations correctly. And it's always a weird one, I find, as the tease, you know, which is your best option for going the anti-eco route. Because if you do a top hit, you use your Molotovs, it's still messy. You're running out into a plethora of different crossfires. If you go ramps as a contact play, someone with a deagle can light you up for days. Yard is another one that can get scary, and XMS is a bit trigger happy right now. It looks like ramp is going to be point of contact.
XMS reels himself downwards. We've seen ramp being given up quite frequently so far. Makes sense considering he's just on the sidearm, but for now, the only kill belongs to Edward. XMS is just toying with the idea of going for the re-peek. Sixer's actually going to go for the flank. He finds the backside of Edward, but here comes Flamey to trade it back. XMS with one of his own, and Scream in the meantime has found another. It's a 3 versus 1 now, as Flamey, all alone in lobby, doesn't have the bomb, doesn't have teammates, and doesn't have much time. Nor does he have a head. XMS and Envy stopping it with just the pistols.
Yeah, we're talking about how difficult it can be, and they show exactly why. Obviously, the approach from Na'Vi there, the utility usage, not clearing the corners, probably an XMS coming up big. It's not so easy to deal with. But I think, you know, there's so many different options for an anti-eco on a map like this, and Na'Vi's still new to this map, new to their pool. Here we go, the Force Buy once again, the Force Wars, you're spot on. Simple on the AK this time. Edward's got one of his own. I guess if you can get control of this economy early as Na'Vi, you're going to be able to post up more rounds on the T side than we would be expecting. The depth of their strategies is something we haven't learned or something we haven't got to see with them playing this for the first time in this tournament.
Grenade send Happy over towards Secret. That's his own smoke grenade here trying to play with. Very unsuspecting position. Could creep his way through if necessary, and Electronic doesn't have much to hold him off, right? Only that CZ.
Looks like it's probably going to be a top explosion, right? With Electronic kind of flanking through Mini or Annex late. And as I say that, they head towards ramp. To XMS.
XMS has still only ever had a CZ or MP9 in this game. Nothing larger than that. And so he'll be tasked to hold this off. Now, Zeus has already crossed past Sixer's line of sight, which is in question as he's wary of some kind of outer flank. Again, Electronic is still over there. 40 seconds now. They're going to have to stampede their way forward, and there is, of course, XMS just tucked away to the right side. He goes for the peek, and that costs him. Edward stops him. Scream at a distance, finding one. Sixer and Happy chiming in, and that's 3. It is Simple and Electronic, the could-be stars of this roster, to figure out a way back in. Electronic spots Happy, pops him right away. Now Simple's gonna have to get the bomb onto the site. He jumps downwards, and Electronic's gonna try to cover best he can. Planted safely by Decon Door, and Electronic gets this done. They have managed to get themselves into the 2v1 now. Sixers from above, creeping his way past. He spots the man just beneath him, takes it, and now with an AWP and a P250 needs to find the last, but it's a wraparound from Electronic. So smart. On the opposite side of the bomb site as to where he was last seen. Ring around the rosy. And Sixer, at a loss for words, has no clue what to do, so he just walks away from this. AWP into the next one, Na'Vi back, and the trend continues. 6 consecutive rounds being exchanged here, blow for blow.
A wild goose chase there for Sixer in the end, but not his fault. Getting left in a 1-on-2 situation, did the best he could, and was able to hold on to that AWP. But this is the power couple. This is what they could be possible. Simple cracking it open with that entry, and then fantastic cover here by Electronic. That's a good position he used. He was able to see a lot of the areas that Simple may have gone down from, and then quickly trade or pivot out to make those frags. But once again, the Force Buy comes in.
Only 2 primaries this time.
No one's got full control of the economy yet, but we did see Sixer. Yeah, here we go. Sixer super aggressive in lobby. This is dangerous.
Just waiting for exactly that.
That's the impact we want, you know, the AWPers to have. Not everyone can be a flary star AWPer, but when you only have 2 saved guns, you can go for a play like that and get an early pick. It's very important to be able to have that in your arsenal, have that weapon up your sleeve, and for him to get this kill early, give it a 4v5 advantage. We still have the economy in no one's hands. No one's really taken a full grasp of it. Very important frag from Sixer there. Good to see him coming to life.
He will then move himself towards the outer garage. Simple making a bit of a ruckus from vents. Electronic just gets flicked on. Sixer with a hell of a shot. And a second frag into the round. That's going to force the hands of Na'Vi towards ramp, where XMS lies in wait. Instant dink in a second. He gets the kill, in fact, and Sixer finds his 3rd. Simple, with the only 2 kills for Na'Vi in this round, now tasked with a clutch 1v3. And unfortunately for him, he doesn't have the health to do it. We know he's got the aim, but nor does he have time to really play around with this. Man, do you just call it quits?
May as well go for it, right? The economy is still in tatters for both teams. If any kill that he gets is going to make life very difficult for EnVyUs going into the next. With 10 seconds left on the board, no one showing themselves. He might do exactly that. Hold on to fight another day. Has that a little bit of utility as well. Could come in very handy next round. You can see here as the lovely observers bring up the scoreboard for everyone at home. Not a lot of money for Na'Vi. He almost finds a frag there. Running with the knife out. That's not the way you want to be ending a round, that's for sure. a tactical pause coming out from Na'Vi here. The thing is, they're on the T side of nuke, and they've already managed to get themselves 3 rounds, right? This is pretty good. They haven't actually had to use a lot of strategy. We've seen the wall smokes come out, get that under control. That 2-on-4 scenario from Simple and Electronic was nice to see. If they want to just take the pause, they want to right the ship, go into something, you know, a little bit more strat heavy, see if they can have any luck there, or just keep contesting, keep fighting, keep going for it, because they can, you know, they can get another buy going. P250s, head armor, opt for Deagles. Electronic's got enough money if he wants to grab a UMP or something. It looks like they're just going for the pistol upgrade without any armor invested behind. Oh, nope. All right, they proved me wrong again.
Yeah. We have seen rounds with this exact situation. Simple on a single AK. The rest of the team having the grenades to support it. By no stretch of the imagination. Is this out of the realm of possibility? Fast play around from Mini. Edward with the CZ finds Scream. Man above his RPK, but he too now down. Gun could have trickled into the hands of the T side as they nearly find their after plant. 2 versus 2, then just mowed away. 4 consecutive frags between XMS and Sixer. Beautiful stuff.
That was a quick round. That was over before we even saw it get started. I don't know about little celebration doing the fingers. But Sixer and XMS, they're stepping up here. They're both having a good game thus far. Sixer setting on 14 frags, XMS on 10. Scream on 5, Happy on 5, and RPK down the bottom there on 4. Now we're finally going to see an eco coming out. Because of the loss bonus that they'll have going into next round, they're still able to invest into the CZs. A little bit of Kevlar. We will see a gun round, a full gun round coming out next round. It's a very difficult shot to hit. Sixer at least gets the information. Gonna rattle a few off through the smoke. 3, 4, 5 members of Na'Vi are gonna make their way down secret as a unit, and those CZs, sorry, not 5. We got Zeus here at ramp. Minimap's not my mate.
Screams inside the vent, so he hears all of this movement. Zeus down already. So it's just that single-pronged assault, but there's Scream also killed. Simply an Electronic finding some footing here. Happy.
No.
Oh, he tries to spam the smoke, which he could have done from above. But instead, he falls into the lying hands of Electronic, who's got himself not only the single M4, because there's 2, Simple with another. And there's only 2 CTs left to deal with. Make that 1. Na'Vi have done it. Oh my goodness.
I just don't understand how they're getting caught off time and time again by the pace of Na'Vi taking secret. Like, they're running full pelt, right? As soon as they get down, they're just committing to that bomb site and getting in. And Happy there, that's a massive blunder, a massive oversight not to expect anybody to be deeper into the bomb site like he was. And RPK as well, you know, he swung, he took a jewel. Scream coming out of the vent. Felt like he didn't expect anyone to already be on the site. I don't know. I don't know what's going on there. They need to really be expecting these Na'Vi players to have taken a bit more territory than they have. But once again, Simple and Electronic with a lot of impact. And now, EnVyUs has the money in the bin. They're going to have to go for pistol upgrade. No, oh, come on, guys. This is just so back and forth. They're so indecisive out of spawn, right? They're buying it as they're leaving. You see the armor upgrades coming in. I guess they want to be competitive. They want to take the fight to Na'Vi as well, but it seems like a losing battle at this point for both teams. These rounds are being pulled out of the hat time and time again.
See if XMS can pull a Simple. We'll have a distraction coming in from Secret shortly if the Molotov hadn't blocked it off, but he now sees the players just through the grating. Finds the one on top of Redbox, but then Electronic bangs him back. Happy comes peeking outwards, and the CZ at that distance not gonna get much done. Scream on the Deagle, finding the first kill, damaging the second. He's now upgraded to the M4 though, so this round's still winnable from him. It's gonna take a couple of rounds. He flicks down. Zeus cannot finish his frag. And with the bomb plant in, it is Edward versus Scream. Frag grenade sailing into the distance, but in fact, it's the man up close. Edward just gonna keep his M4 out. Scream trying to find the angle, peppering shots, nearly finds it, but Edward crouches beneath, and Na'Vi with another round to the board. The force buy from EnVyUs nearly pans out.
Jeez.
In a round that I was very willing to write them off in.
Very tight once again. Now it seems like the guys from Na'Vi have built up a bit of a bank, right? There's a bit of money across the board. Simple, Edward, Electronic, they all have enough. They have to drop some guns. Get the investment, spread the wealth, spread the love. And finally, a round that should be considered an eco, I suppose, in the current climate of Counter-Strike. We'll call this one an eco. A couple of pistol upgrades. You can't rule them out, can you? We've seen it time again. We've seen XMS be very effective with the CZ at ramp. We've seen him now push up with the Deagle and RPK once he gets the link done.
He's denied. Flamey finds the first footing. You can see Na'Vi very cautious, in fact, of these kinds of ambitious plays, these kinds of one-offs. The peaks, the prize, the attempts. Like that. Sixer finding Edward. Now, Simple's got to be cautious. You can see him frantically checking all these positions, very wary that CTs could just emerge from any position, and happy with a drive-by. Takes it into the 3 versus 3. There's no way they win this, right?
Wait, the question mark, it's always there, and anything's possible in Counter-Strike, as we do have a flank coming in from XMS. They know something's up, though. Just posturing, waiting for the CTs to make a mistake. Zeus is looking that direction, but XMS is going to get a shot off. Pedal backwards.
Zeus has to be careful. He's got XMS pinned into the corner, will finish the frag, but in the meantime, Scream finds Electronic. 1 by 1, they fall. They have 20 seconds left. The bomb's in the open. There's a CT standing behind the vent, so Scream could easily section this off. He's gonna hear the footing as well, so he's ready. And he's ready and capable. Happy. With another frag and EnVyUs back on the board. What are we watching? What is this?
A slugfest, a very back and forth game of Counter-Strike here where pistols prevail and individual brilliance is shining through as there are some lovely shots being hit left, right, and center. Deagle play from Scream there, very on point to close out that round. Na'Vi again. This is the thing, the buy is so difficult for them to get into place that players are still at spawn. This freeze time's ended.
Just exactly like what EnVyUs were doing in the previous round, right?
No one can really get on top of this situation. No one can post a couple of rounds together and put us on back on a normal track. I don't think we're going to get there. What are we already 12 rounds deep?
It's all right.
In right now.
Normal's overrated. This is more exciting. So far. Playing it with a little bit of a slower tempo. As they creep their way outside. Sixer would love for somebody to just come across his line of sight. He's got his teammate in secret as well that could come over the tip of the stairs. Scream with an AK as well. Off of that flashbang, he's definitely going to peek and peek right into the crosshair of Simple. Sixer looks to reposition, but there's already a player in garage. He's got to be cautious.
I like the aggression here. He knows he needs to get involved, make a play. He had been spotted. And he's going to hear some sound cues. There's a couple of the members from Na'Vi do make their way down secret. But Flamey is in a position to punish.
One CT down vent. Sixer still wrapping around. Could very easily be caught by Flamey. And we have it. Now all of a sudden, Na'Vi, if they wanted to, they could actually burst it back to A, but they will commit an RPK. He stops 2. Simple maintains a man advantage. XMS tries to get into the gunfight. Happy's on the flank, then denied. So XMS to clutch this out, and he's actually crept his way above. He sees Simple. Simple doesn't see him. Takes the first one, takes the second, and it is just Edward. As he upgrades to the AK, a single shot to the face could drop either of these players. It's gonna be the duel towards Decon. He continues in behind him. Edward completely caught off guard. And XMS with a 3K clutch, a 10-second defuse, and an 8th round for Envy.
Huge there from XMS to be able to pull that one off. Showed poise there, showed a bit of trigger discipline. Eventually popped Simple off, jumped in the vent. Second kill is the big one here. Obviously a heads up duel. Flamey was ready and raring. He did know at that point it was coming. And then, you know, just the patience to be able to, you know, run the clock down with no kit, knowing he's against the timer. Find that kill on Edward, get that defuse, and the force bow once more from Na'Vi coming out. Galil in the hands of Edward. Everyone's scrapping it together. Got SMG even in Simple's hands. And it's getting messy. It's a fight. It's a brawl. Like a top play is coming in as smokes and nades ring out to force rotations of the EnVyUs players. The Snacks-esque play works for Zeus as he gets down the vent unscathed. Maybe even potentially undetected, but Scream's on the scene.
And they know that this presence could be on the site, but I don't think they realize how close Zeus already is. The Electronic's gonna try to get himself closer to door. Scream will now play above. Reminiscent of the opening that XMS found just in that most previous round. Scream's gonna get spotted.
Every
Distracted
time.
effectively, allowing for Edward to find one. Flamey then takes the next. XMS from Vent now down. And it's only RPK with a single kill. Again, Na'Vi have somehow found footing in a round they had no business winning, but can they close this out? It is just Sixer. He's got full health to work with, 3 Ts to find, and a couple more grenades to throw before he gets this rolling. Peek comes in, he's spotted. Tagged up slightly.
Nades waffled off as well, so any hope he had is quickly dwindling.
Hits the first shot though. P250 into the site, he lands on his head! And Edward shoots upwards, seals the deal. Na'Vi with another round.
The big question mark here is how they're mitigating that under control, right? They're giving it up, they're letting them have secret, they're getting down the van, and then when they rotate in, they're just kind of hoping that Na'Vi don't pick as a unit, and they're doing it every single time. As soon as the guy picked from window, squeaky door open, which allows a player to push out, and they're not actually just spotting for one choke point, they're open to so many. And this has been a really big issue so far for EnVyUs in this half. They've lost so many pivotal rounds. So many, you know, pistol mixed buys because they haven't actually been able to deal with that. They've had no one on the scene to stop them from getting down secret. And this is not going to be a good start for this round as Zeus is going to open up onto XMS towards ramp, getting a little bit curious.
Just flashbangs and smokes left for Mendy. Happy would love to find a deagle kill here, but Na'Vi are already putting rounds down range. Gonna have a little bit of support coming over. Flamey's still tasked to watch flank. The bomb carrier as well nearby, so the only person not really in lobby or slash ramp would have been Edward, and he's been playing the top of silo for quite some time now. Seeing that there is, of course, some openings outdoors. A little bit of utility indicates the lobby presence. And it's during this time that Edward actually starts working his way past the red box. In fact, Na'Vi, they just go charging downwards, and especially off of Simple's kill, that confirms the presence. We're going to see EnVyUs trying to scramble their way in. But how do you stop this with just 2 deagles and a CZ? No grenades, nothing. First player distracted and down. Happy with a second frag, but Electronic quells the threat. Or at least the first one, because Scream still stands towards the bottom of ramp. He's got a teammate by his side. Oh! Scream making them wary. The pistols could pan out yet again. There's a player just beneath him. That's Electronic. He could easily spray them both. He finds the first one. Nearly traded back by RPK, who does get the kill and an AK. But Zeus now on 43 HP with a player who doesn't have a kit. He's scrambling, and he's nearly successful, but it's not enough. It's Na'Vi with another round and a half that is as close as could be.
Chaos. Chaos. Utter chaos.
No more than 2 rounds were ever won consecutively in that entire half.
I thought we were going to get a clean round at the end there, right? Happy just has to pivot around the silo in the lower side, grab 2 nice deagle kills, make it interesting. Whew. All right, I'm glad we get a breather. I'm glad we get a chance to really sit back and evaluate what just happened there. But let's try and put things in context so far for how we've seen Na'Vi going on their CT sides on most of these maps. It hasn't been fantastic for them, right? We saw them struggle on their CT sides throughout the tournament. And maybe that could be the same here. But if there's one that you can lock it down on, there's one that you should have a huge advantage on, it would be nuke CT side. We do say that. We just saw EnVyUs struggle to really get anything going across the board. Lots of pistol plays. Of highlights. But Na'Vi, to me, obviously they've in my books they only got the 7. But I feel like they've won that half.
Yeah, to be fair, I think so as well. The thing is it's not like you can say, well, Na'Vi were always constantly in control, because no one was in control, and that in and of itself is you know, a factor that plays your hand. No point was EnVyUs comfortable. Never.
Just like us with our lives here, but Squeaky Door's going to get naded open. Smoke will rain out.
Ooh, spotted on the cross. Sixer actually commits to the corner, couldn't find his entry. Oh, but he gets his headshot.
The misplay turns into an opening frag for Sixer there, and ramp control will be taken as the rotation did come in to deal with his vent drop.
Electronic hears the player making a lot of noise just beneath him. Oh, and Flamey finds RPK on ramp. That's the bomb carrier as well, so information and opportunities offered up. Flamey's gonna linger on, trying to find another one. He will. They continue to trickle forward, and it's there that XMS drops it back. Now, the man's spotted in vent. He's suppressed by the Glock, but it is simple. A tough one to stop. He's gonna try to reposition as EnVyUs do the exact same thing, coming back from vent, coming back up ramp. Just clashes all across the map here. One after another, constant trade fragging. XMS now, 1 versus 2. We saw him clutch a 1v3 in a crucial situation. Can he at least find a bomb plant? That would be nice.
Either plants the bomb, goes for the money bonus going to the next round, or tries to fake it and draw out a CT so he can get a 1v1 in his favor. But this has been all over the place, and he thinks he wants to go back down that vent. And to the lower side, get the bomb down there with just under 20 seconds remaining now. They're going to know topside's clear any second and probably be on his tail.
He's going to get the option to play in decontamination if necessary, but Simple's in there. Simple's just going to charge forward for the gunfight, and XMS stops him. Maybe a little ahead of the curve there. Zeus was not in a position to help out whatsoever, and now XMS is going to wrap around. He could finish it. He does! Another clutch from XMS. Stepping up from Envy in the pistol. A wild round yet again, Chad.
Yeah, heroics there to finally seal that one. But like you said, you mentioned it, there was just jewels all over the map, right? It seems like EnVyUs are opting to really play Ring Around the Rosie and make these guys from Na'Vi chase them and find the jewels. Taking fights at ramp, they had the fight coming out of vent, back towards the top site. Everywhere there was action, and we're going to see the force buys ensue again as Na'Vi, they don't want to take a step back. 5 CZs, a little bit of utility. If EnVyUs can deal with the anti-eco situations any better. Very stagnant approach. Sitting back waiting for early aggression. They have enough utility to actually throw out a proper execute. And now that we can hear that glass being broken above, could indicate Molotovs raining through the skylights, pushing people off of hut, off of the rafters. Happy is lining up for something.
We never saw a single inner execution from Na'Vi last half, now that I think about it.
They tried that hard top on the pistol round, but nothing really came from that. It just melted. Yeah, they're going to drop back. Right back, it seems. Opting for the wall smokes. This looks like that was they're setting up in T-spawn. Electronic, he's going to be the first man on the scene, at least to see if anybody will be taking advantage of them. As they get lobbed out, should be hitting the ground any second.
Not going to use any utility to convince Electronic back. He hears all the sound cue and decides to leave on his own terms. Will linger onwards. XMS with the flying Mac-10 pops his head. RPK now going to try to get past vent. Zeus just offers up the cross. Flamey finding some impact into the round, but Sixer's doubling down. And that's going to leave the 2 CTs on site. They have the same piece of cover. It's desperate. And it's not successful. EnVyUs convert their point with 4 players alive, taking that one nice and smooth.
That was a good round, good adjustment there, went back to yard. They didn't really get a lot of information given to them by Na'Vi. Maybe it's just a intuition by Happy to call doubling back, going for that late. Can always be dangerous when you let the clock run down versus the ecos, versus the force buy, and they're going for it again. Na'Vi once more. Maybe they don't really have a lot in this map. Maybe they don't have a lot of confidence in themselves, but they are force buying. CZs, UMP, smoke grenades. Maybe EnVyUs won't be expecting this one. To me, this just kind of indicates that Na'Vi don't have a lot of stock or confidence in their normal gun rounds to be going for this again. Sure, what's probably was going to happen anyway. We're going to get to that first gun round. They're going to be low on utility, probably no AWP anyway. But that to me, you know, maybe they don't have any moves. Maybe they hadn't worked on anything. And maybe now to take this as a heads-up duel anyway across the board. Skill for skill, pound for pound. And Zeus kicks it off with one of his own.
Not prepared for the structured and regular CS, well then just keep everybody on their toes. Keep things frantic, desperate, unexpected. Kind of like this wraparound from Sixer. He's gotten himself into heaven. He looks down beneath him. He's going to find Electronic easy takings. Next man up would be Edward, and he's also down. Sure enough, Flamey responds, and he gets right into the fight with a second headshot, nearly the third. But the mag runs dry, and Zeus now 1 versus 2 on only the MAC-10. He's got a single kill in the round already. He's got a fully HP Scream to deal with. It's XMS who could tumble a little easier, especially as there's some opening here being given away. What's the play? Jump out window, walk out door. He's gonna opt for the ladder. Continues to wrap around, and Scream flicks back, hits the headshot, and gets EnVyUs another round on the board. Fair enough, as it should have been, considering the buy there of Na'Vi. Very crucial flank from Sixer, I'd say.
Yeah, Sixer and XMS show right now. They're top of the scoreboard for the EnVyUs guys. 23 frags on Sixer, 21 on XMS. And those 2 clutches from XMS have been absolutely pivotal in giving 11 rounds to EnVyUs. Simple, unable to keep up that godly form. Nuke is it's a little bit harder to get going in that regard. And we'll see an eco with a few upgraded pistols coming out from Na'Vi, and the aggression from Simple, the man I was just talking about, is going to be completely shut down by RPK, who's going to grab a second onto Zeus. And the early aggression from Na'Vi hasn't found what they were looking for.
1 by 1, they continue to fall. Sure enough, Edward finds a kill. RPK is going to come back and do damage control, but he's on 7 health, so he's also down for the count. And Happy's now smoked off. A little bit of damage done. They get something for their efforts. In fact, Edward's going to give chase to Happy, who was still on a sidearm. His gun was dry.
Oh. They would have heard that hit him in the dome. Gonna play around the smoke and the Molotov here. It shouldn't be too long before Edward has cleaned up another Molotov. He has to scamper away. An onslaught. Nades coming his direction. If he can hold on to this AK though, that's a decent win, taking that into the next round. Not to be. Sixer, right place, right time. Let him hold on to that one. Now we're talking. Now we're going to be getting into the gun rounds. This is where things should kick off. What's the approach going to be from EnVyUs here? Historically, you know, everyone talks about yard control, secret control, playing around that. See if they can come up with a different solution or a different take on the nuke puzzle. No warp on Sixer. He's getting a lot done with the rifles thus far. Had a lot of impact on those 2 anti-eco rounds.
Simple right now, still just moving around the outer yard, so it's not like he's on the forefront, not in the playmaker position. Ooh.
All right. Take that one.
I see you, Flamey. Dishing out some damage. Convincing EnVyUs to hold off for now. A lot of utility being exchanged, a lot of gunfire being exchanged.
Yeah, we're down to about a minute. And because of the 5 rifles, you'd be expecting an execute to come out here, and Sixer, you know, be letting that smoke rain out.
Ooh. Edward's in a spot to maybe catch them off guard. He actually gets between the smokes, so yes, XMS down immediately so. And the man advantage for the defense now as he reels his way back into the safety. Flamey on the ramp. He's committed to the cubby. They could walk right past this. They're stampeding forward, making a lot of noise. He drops the bomb, spots Sixer, and now it's only Happy's position unknown. Flamey calling for reinforcements, and sure enough, Simple is nearby. Oh, and he gets it. Close call. Happy explodes from the vents, revealing himself, but not really in a position to do much more. 1v4. Fires off at a distance as he has only 8 HP, and he's boxed in at this point. He's done for. His time limited, his fate sealed.
I'm surprised he's not just going for kills here. He's got 5k in the bank. If he dies after the time...
Oh.
Jeez, that was a tight one. All right, so he was able to hold on to that AK, bring it into this round. EnVyUs do have enough money to get the buy happening, and I would assume that we will see the AWP coming out on Sixer. You know, that can give you a bit more yard presence, or it might be able to give them a different tack, a different take on it. If they go for the 5 rifles again, which they have done, it tells me that they're probably going to go for either a quicker play or an execute. And it looks like those yard smokes are in play early. Oh, with lots of numbers as well. All 4 members stampeding Your word. I'm sorry, I just stole that one from you. A gap in the smoke. That's not what we want.
Ooh. Simple's going to exploit it with a 2K. Corpses lie in the open. Oh, and a third. Come on, Simple. What have you got? He answers the call to action. XMS comes creeping up from the vent, but he's sent packing straight downwards. And Simple with, again, an individual play.
Easy as that, right? He just makes it look simple. Funny that. He's done this throughout the whole tournament. It's crazy to see this level of consistency and the rating that he's been putting up. It's nuts. This performance from one individual playing this level of Counter-Strike on a consistent basis, it doesn't happen too often. I think we're witnessing greatness right here. Maybe they're a bit bankrupt. A lot of money going on as XMS straight out the squeaky door. Simple again, gonna find a kill. Scream with the Deagle exchanging onto Zeus.
Zeus is gonna be fully flashed. He's standing in the open. Simple flicks downwards for another op shot. Electronic finding a rifle kill as well. Does get them a man advantage. Simple looks to double it down, but Happy's got something to say. Right now, with that bomb down in vents, Electronic's gonna peel back. He doesn't feel comfortable in that position, and I don't blame him. Unsure as to where Happy could get off to. In fact, where's Flamey right now? Flamey's inside the vent, so he's actually babysitting that bomb. It's for that reason that Electronic's been called over. They want to play at least closer together, right? They know someone's got to come get this, and they know that the time's getting lower. Oh my goodness, makes a little noise. Flamey's spooked, just like I am.
About 45 seconds left on the clock. Happy's gone around the world here. Went to ramp, checked out ladder base. Now he's found himself in warehouse. And then Mini, but he hasn't really located anyone, as this is going to be a duel in the vent with Flamey.
Smoke down. When does Flamey start to spam? Just as he makes a Q and he still gets away. That's an A plan. And because Electronic had rotated downwards, Na'Vi can't just come flying up vent. They've got no footing towards A. So they immediately double back. They try to charge as quickly as they can back through Secret in order to get closer to the bomb site in time. They've got one kit, one smoke, and a flashbang to make this work. Two opponents ahead of them. Happy's gonna wrap around towards Heaven. This actually leaves Scream on his own for a little longer. CT start to push in. He misses the first shot, still gets the kill, but it's traded back by Electronic, and Happy at a distance with the CZ of all guns is able to find another round for Envy. Oh my.
You think Flamey needs to check out Reddit a little bit more often?
Man.
Because the bomb, right, when you can't see it, it still blinks on the radar because you know it's down, right?
Yeah.
And then as soon as it stops blinking,
You know it's been picked up.
you spam. Right? This event should be a pretty easy place to grab some frags anyway. Good round there from EnVyUs. Closes out in the end. Look at this ramp progression from Flamey. He's going to find XMS sleeping. Didn't expect him to push that smoke, and a great opening. A Simple, getting aggressive on the raft. They're going to just miss a shot, but that's going to scare away the tease.
Note that he doesn't re-peek. He nearly went back for it,
He
right?
wants it, right? He's hungry. You can't blame him.
This is new Simple.
He gets away with whatever he wants, right? This guy, he makes miracles happen. Things that we didn't think were possible, he does time and time again.
Of course, that last round is still a serious opening for EnVyUs now. 4-point lead. Na'Vi hot on their heels, and at least they have that 5 versus 4 in this round. I feel like this position right now is crucial, right? If EnVyUs sustain a reset halfway through this half, then they either have to force back in again or allow for Na'Vi to close that gap, build up economy of their own, and momentum on a CT side of nuke. That could be dangerous. Right now, Edward still wants to play on the forefront, wants to get amongst the fray, amidst the action. And on top of Envy, once they decide to make their move, and they've done so, towards that ramp they go, right into the lying weights of Simple. Headshot to Sixer, no scope to RPK, and another! Again and again! It is just Happy left, nowhere to be found, no bomb, no chance, as Na'Vi with double digits are bouncing right back, and they look to seal this out at a 2-0 series.
Simple is an absolute madman. That first shot is insane. The no-scope to follow up. Easy as you like it. This guy's on fire. Whew. Definitely worth a tactical timeout there from EnVyUs. Edward having a giggle. I would be too. If I had a guy on my team like that,
Man, Jesus. He's just so good.
but it's like you expect maybe this once a game. He's doing it multiple times a game, almost round in, round out, wherever the opportunity presents itself. Very rarely that he doesn't get the multi-frag. He doesn't have impact. Simple is just beasting it up.
Multiple rounds of map, multiple maps a series, multiple series throughout events. It's constant, consistent, damn well impressive. We'll see if they can carry it onwards. Right now it is just pistols yet again, but it's EnVyUs. And EnVyUs with pistols. Not something you ever sleep on.
Maybe we could argue they'd be more dangerous with the pistols, and it looks like a top split is coming in quickly here.
Ooh, Zeus burning alive to 12 HP, but still everybody comes out on top of their gun duels. So this is a round where the pistols have not panned out. They've been mowed down. Happy, alone. Walks wide, then he dies. Na'Vi to 11, cutting down the gap yet again with another round on the board. 2 the difference at this point. Slowly but surely, they are back in this game. It is the final 6 rounds of this map, or at least of regulation. And what are EnVyUs going to do? They're just going to opt to conserve some cash, curb their buy, hold off a little longer, potentially afford Na'Vi a 12th round. Fast play from Envy straight towards ramp. Flamey's on the other side, and Utility holds it off.
And that Ned's going to do a lot of damage, but Flamey's going to have 4 Ts coming his way any second now. Spamming down 1, 2. It's going to be 3 and then 4. Easy as that for Flamey. No dramas for Na'Vi as they now have established an economy. Something I really want to note here, just so people can really see how good of a job Edward is doing. When these top executes attempt to come in from Na'Vi, you can see how from Envy, sorry, how they posture with their nades. They break open the windows and then they throw a little bit of utility. Edward is always throwing that forward smoke into hut and then playing in the hut, right? That allows, that cuts down the choke points, because the utility usage when you do a top hit is to open up more angles with smokes, with Molotovs, and the flashbang obviously to eventually get onto the site. Edward isn't even allowing them to get to that point, keeping them back, keeping them at arm's length. Ouch.
What?
Yeah.
Okay. Simple peeks up from Secret as the rest of his teammates deal damage. Scream with a headshot towards Flamey actually cracks open the ramp, so 2 players are going to start pushing their way downwards, but the bomb is the problem. Oh, another problem is the fact that Scream's caught with no gun in hand. And XMS wasn't out yet, so he can't trade. Luckily, Sixer finds footing on the op. Edward responds back with a kill to RPK, so sure enough, it's a 3v2. Still Na'Vi at an advantage, but Sixer in a position to take that aback. Smoke at his feet now leaves him to clutch because his teammate's gone. And so are their chances in the round, all tied up at 13 apiece. Na'Vi on the CT side, not in the Force Wars. No longer a calamity, but rather a convincing half. Simple, so dynamic, the positioning, the impact.
I always was curious about how they were going to balance this with Simple, right? The guy's a fantastic AWP player, but I would never say he's a primary, right? He's obviously taken the role within this team. It makes sense. He's obviously the best AWPer that they have on offer, but he's so explosive. He can do it all. I think, if you built a structure and you made him Guardian-esque, they tried to do that with him, it wouldn't work the same or anywhere near as well as what Na'Vi had with that roster. They need to let this guy be free. They need to let him AWP. They need to let him rifle, let him do whatever he needs to do. Build the other 4 around him, because this platform for him to just be a monster, an absolute beast. It's panning out right now as Envy is back against the wall. Pistols once more. Let's see if they can change up the pace. With a bit of a mix-up. Find an entry as the wall smokes land. But it looks like they want to cascade into the top side.
Zeus could be caught in the open, though he is yet again. There's 2 frags. XMS and RPK, they've contested the A site, but they can't get past Simple, not yet. He's got a teammate with him here, and the flashbang's on point. The bomb's on the ground, and the corpses may be about to join it. Yes, XMS with a headshot onto Simple, and Flamey's been tagged up as well. This is one of those rounds from Envy where they just come out of nowhere. They explode in a very fast pace with only pistols, and they somehow make it work. To contrast that to the last round where they had a similar buy and they get nothing. They come back in with the same situation and the completely opposite result. Free guns, 4 frags, and 2 rounds to go.
It all happened so quickly. You feel like you blink and you miss it in a lot of these rounds that have happened in this game thus far. Zeus getting caught out there. He wanted to get down the vent, it looked like, to rotate it to potentially stop any secret control, but his death was always happening as soon as we saw that flash come through. And from there, as they dealt with simple top of ladder, that was all she wrote, really. There was no way in for Electronic and Flamey at that point, especially considering his HP. Now the change-up is, and we haven't seen a lot of success for EnVyUs on the gun rounds. How are they going to look towards finding success? I'm trying to think about the gaps that they've found. Right, they've been able to get out ramp, but then they get greeted by simples, AWP, 3K. You know, they've been able to get down secret from time to time. And they've been mowed down in the afterplant scenarios. So getting map territory, getting into the areas to win the round hasn't been the problem. It's the flair, it's the individual brilliance coming out from the Na'Vi players that stop them. Electronic is close, and he thinks he wants to put a stop to Sixer.
I think we've seen a forward advancement like this. We've seen Simple up on the rafters, but normally it's the Electronic inside of Garage, over towards Secret. This slight shift in setup could find Na'Vi the opening. Then again, Sixer could win this op duel, and a Na'Vi without Simple,
Great flash.
just isn't the same thing. He's actually going to reposition and look exactly for this, but Sixer and his teammate will still stand for now.
How patient Sixer's being.
I feel like if there's one thing that you can challenge Simple with, it is his patience. He loves to go for the peaks. And the thing is that he tends to win them. But here comes Electronic, finding impact. Then Simple skewers Sixer. 5 versus 3 now, and 2 players, they're stuck stagnant outside. Happy's finding some impact. He's caught Zeus, and Happy finds another. Single-handedly opening the A site, calling for his teammates to leave. Simple guns him down. Electronic trades back with XMS, and here we have it. The clutch attempt yet again from XMS. He's played fantastically this map. He's got 2 oppers ahead of him, trying to mask the sound of his drop down with a shot. So they know his general position, but not exactly where he's at. He does it again. And with a smoke grenade, oh, Simple straight through it. The timing's all he needs. And that puts Na'Vi on 14 rounds apiece. It's anybody's game, except for the fact that you account the economy. Oh.
Should have enough to get a buy going here, EnVyUs. But the question mark for me is, what can they do, right? That setup was fantastic outside from Na'Vi. They're able to pivot off of the opening frag from Electronic and find more, and then his re-aggression to stop them from being able to fall back. That was great in itself. Happy did find space. He did find a gap, but that was after 2 of his players went down. And it's just, there doesn't seem to be an opening that works, but there's one as Scream rips Flamey's head off. Takes that secondary AWP down. There's the number advantage in that of EnVyUs. Risky business there. Getting
Zeus
tense
just
now, isn't it?
strafes by. Gets his way down vent. Now EnVyUs, they're gonna actually explode into the A site, but they make contact versus Edward, and he stops too. Sure enough, XMS finding Zeus, and then another frag, but it's Simple still standing, and Electronic as well chimes in. Sixer to clutch on a full bar. 1 versus 2 now. And they're on completely opposite sides until, of course, Electronic doubles back. They will play together. What has been touted as one of the upcoming duos in the top tier of CS now have Sixer to deal with. He's occupied, still thinking that Electronic's there, but he's chasing ghosts. He's actually got himself into quite the interesting spot. He's gonna take the duels. He sprays and he's not gonna find it. It's Na'Vi with OT at the very, very least. And unfortunately for Envy, their buy does not look good here.
It's where they've seen more success though, and this is the real pivotal round, obviously. If they want any chance, if they want to stay in this series, they want to grab that Dreamhack Winter 2017 title. They need to come out swinging again. A pause will go in. Tactical from Happy has been called for EnVyUs. Talking through another potential strategy. Now, what has caught Na'Vi off guard was that top little explosion. Also in other rounds with the pistols, once they've been able to get ground, been able to make a mess of it and take the rounds. It's just how many of those, how many little kitschy plays do they have in their back pocket to bring out here? Because they do have enough to opt for, you know, AK, Scream can go AK head armor, but no nades. And Happy can do the same and get one grenade. XMS is in a similar kind of boat. And you've got Sixer and RPK who could be opting for pistols with full. But looks like we've gone majority rifles here. RPK on the Deagle. The weakest weaponry, but the most utility. And how they apply that into this round will be very telling if we're going to see overtime or not.
Last round we did watch Flamey fall on ramp, and we saw EnVyUs not opt to try and charge through it. Oh, and now Flamey gives him one right back. Off of the pluming smoke, he pops the noggin of Scream, finding the 5 versus 4, denying that gun as well for at least a moment, but RPK still gets his hands on it, and then he finds Simple. Flamey's able to trade, though. They didn't expect RPK to be there. Simple caught off guard. Flamey, however, he could be the nail in the coffin. He's got 3 and 4. Bomb hits the floor, and 6 are now left over in what would be a 2-0 series from Na'Vi, upsetting versus Envy on their map, and an ace to close it out. Na'Vi, your first grand finalists here at Dreamhack Winter 2017.